Hello everyone, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you're all having a great day, by the way. For this video, I will be talking about the health belief model, so basically what is it all about, and later I will also try to apply this said model to a communication campaign for a much better explanation or much more clear explanation. And also I'll be sharing to you some of the criticisms regarding the persuasion effect of this theory. Basically, the health belief model is a theoretical model that helps us understand a person's behavior towards health. It also serves as a guide in promoting health and disease prevention programs. It also helps us in explaining and predicting changes in health behaviors by focusing on the beliefs and attitudes of the target audience. And it is also one of the most widely used models in understanding health behaviors. So let us say that you want to create a campaign that promotes awareness and prevention against cervical cancer. So together with healthcare practitioners, you launch a campaign entitled End Cervical Cancer Now, Get Vaccinated, Get Screened. So how are you going to persuade your target audience, who are women of course, to participate in your campaign? Well, according to the health belief model, there are 6 aspects to consider to induce behavior modification. So the first aspect is known as perceived susceptibility. So this refers to one's views of his or her chances of contracting a disease or certain condition. So for example, as a woman, I do believe that there is a chance that I could have been exposed to the virus responsible for cervical cancer. So for the second aspect, we have what we call the perceived severity. So basically, this pertains to one's opinion of how severe or serious a condition and its consequences are. So as long as I haven't experienced any symptoms or any severe symptoms related to cervical cancer, then I think that I am in a good shape and there's nothing for me to worry about. So for the third aspect, we have what is known as the perceived benefits. So basically, this is all about an individual's belief in the effectiveness of the recommended action in decreasing the risk or severity of a certain disease or condition. So as an example, I do believe that getting screened for cervical cancer is beneficial for me, since I can get early treatment in case I contract any cervical cancer. Otherwise, if I am tested negative, then I can get vaccinated so that it'll be less likely for me to contract the said disease. So for the fourth aspect, we have what is known as the perceived barriers. So from the word itself, these are the hindrances or events that prevents an individual in performing the recommended action. So I could say that I won't be able to attend or participate in the campaign because the venue is just far from where I am. Or I can say I don't have enough money to cover the transportation costs. I could also say that I'm just busy during that day. Or I could also say that probably the screening and vaccination is not for free. So for the fifth aspect, we have what is called cues to action. So basically, these are strategies or tactics that you can come up with that motivates the individual to take action. So for example, I am reminded through email that the screening and vaccination is free of charge, and the campaign will be held during the holidays, and the transportation costs will be covered. So for the sixth and final aspect, we have what is known as self-efficacy. So this refers to the belief that the individual is now confident to take action. So for example, after participating in the communication campaign for cervical cancer, now I am confident and motivated to get regular checkups for cervical cancer. And I'll also educate and persuade other women to do the same. So overall, the health belief model is very useful in promoting healthy behaviors and lifestyle change, since it relies on educating the audience with factual information and does not impose fear or threat to them. In addition, this model is also appealing to healthcare practitioners and is very straightforward. However, there are limitations in this model. So first, it is said that this model does not take into account the emotions as well as the social and environmental factors such as culture. And second, this model also argues that people would just systematically list and weigh all of the potential benefits and barriers of a decision. The problem is, not all people would do that. Some people would just base their decisions on their own principles or through shortcuts most of the time. Third, this model does not take into consideration the if-then situations. So basically, this model believes that perception of personal risk is essential in inducing protective behaviors. However, in my case, although I would consider myself as someone who is healthy, still, I would take all of the chances that I can get to prevent any diseases, or for example, cervical cancer. So again, in short, although I consider myself as a healthy person, still I am very protective of my own health. And lastly, the health belief model just ruled out prevention and is solely based on beliefs of only undiagnosed conditions. Thank you so much for watching and staying with me until the end of this video, and as always, have a blessed day ahead.